Force works on issues of criminalization, violence, and criminal justice reform. We've launched a grassroots data collection project to find out how violence impacts how people move around the city, where they will and won't spend their money, how they feel about their own personal safety, and what connection people believe violence has to poverty. People who are poor experience violence at really astronomically high levels. In this city, 40% of adults and 57% of young people under the age of 18 live below the federal poverty line.
Why is there so much gun violence? Part of the reason is poverty. Part of the reason is disinvestment in black communities, in urban cities. Part of the reason is a poor education system. There are so many reasons why.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it was roughly $58,000 to operate a household efficiently. The categories for just food, housing, and transportation was $34,000. The average household in Detroit has a median income of $26,000. I feel like we're having these conversations about poverty in Detroit as if people are actually living off of $26,000 a year. They're not. Folks are hustling. They're figuring out ways to supplement their income. What we need to be concerned about is whether or not those hustles are beneficial to our community or harmful to our community. Violence is about scarcity and survival in Detroit. Our issue of violence is inextricably linked to the issues that our dreamer brother and sisters are facing, the issues that our white brothers and sisters that face school shootings in their schools are facing. As soon as we say it's okay to devalue dreamers, it becomes okay to devalue black people. As soon as we say that's not our issue, it becomes okay for a cop to shoot your son and somebody else can say the same thing.
Now we're not just selling out our communities and selling out people. Now we are selling out our children. Now gun violence is coming into school. Gun violence is in the neighborhood. Gun violence is in the house. You shouldn't die at 21 or 22 years old because somebody got a beef with you and they don't know how to do conflict resolution and they think this is power. This is your power ordained by God, not a weapon made by man.
We've got to acknowledge the trauma that our community is facing by fighting such high rates of poverty. We've got to create legislation that invests in rather than punishes people. We need to give our young people outlets that will allow them to decompress the trauma that we are living through in our communities.
Peace. It's really important that I began with that because I ain't had that when I was growing up. I grew up in a household where there was a lot of physical violence that happened against my mom. And, I learned how to defend her. I first came to the spot, it was a beautiful thing. It was an opportunity to see people interact in the community in a healthy and positive way that I had not seen. It was a true support system where folks really cared about each other. So being somewhere where I could actually pretend to be a kid, where I could actually see other kids acting, as children, that wasn't normal for me at home. I had to travel 2 buses to get to this place of peace. It was really important to not only receive the space and be in that space of peace, but create it after I obtained it.
It's full, Dina. You're gonna hold it.
Huh?
You're gonna hold it.
Hold it what?
We're taking it with us.
I opened up a bookstore. I hold an art and healing festival each year. I teach poetry, I teach gardening, I teach community radio to kids, and I provide those spaces of peace that young people, adults, and anybody can walk into so they can, have some alternative to popping off.
I do this work because I was a poet working with young people who were running from the police. And all I had to give them was poetry. And they needed so much more. We have a whole city of young people to save, and that means we have to figure out a way to streamline the support services. We need to show up to actions. We need to show up to community meetings about this. We need to start conversations with our neighbors. We need to host community meetings. We need to donate, but donation is not good enough, y'all. We gotta show up.
People are saying, where is God in all this life? God, but God is saying, where you at? Come on,
Please sign up. Sign up to show up for action. Sign up to volunteer if you're able to lead some of these conversations. Fill out a survey. Sign up to stay connected to us. We host community events. If you like what you're hearing, we want to talk to you about it. Please also donate, but donations will not replace your presence. We need you to show up.